Hi, everyone. Today I have with me Eva Magdalenski, aka Eva Magazine, aka DJ EvAAA. She is a game changer. She is a certified DJ from Scratch DJ Academy, which was created by JMJ from RUN DMC. Can you cue the Can't Hardly Wait soundtrack? It's tricky. DJ EvAAA performed her first public appearance opening for Damien Marley and Major Lazer at Red Rocks Amphitheater. She spent 10 years working for comedian Chelsea Handler on TV's Chelsea Lately. That's how I know her. DJ EvAAA is also part of Richard Simmons' National TV infomercial, Project Hope. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Eva. It is wonderful to see you.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah. Okay, so just real quick, I want to tell all of our listeners out there how I know you. Because it was a day of fate for me. I'm a big Chelsea Handler fan, and I came to her book signing, and I didn't think I would actually get the chance to connect with her and hopefully get her in College Magazine and interview with her. That was kind of the dream. And I'll never forget, Chelsea said yes to being in the magazine, and she's like, you got to talk to Eva. She's going to set it up and make it happen. And you did. And here we are over 10 years later connecting.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And thank you so much for making that connection happen.
Well, thank you for your passion and pursuing your dream and not knowing how you were going to do it, but believing that you could and believing that you would go for it and actually going for it. And you did.
Well, that's why I want to talk with you today, because you are a beautiful example of going for it in every sense of the way. I want to take us all the way back to the beginning, though, when you were before Eva Magazine, right? Okay. So you were at University of Denver. What did you imagine your career path being?
Well, growing up my whole life, I love comedy and I love TV and entertainment and the whole fun elements of that. And I always grew up watching television and, I'd be in this little den in Colorado, like, wow, won't that be so fun to, watching SNL and Will Ferrell and just wanted to be a part of comedy. So I basically started working. My first year of college, I actually went out to University of Kentucky because my grandparents were there. Did a year there, came back for the summer, and I actually started as an intern at Comedy Works. It was a comedy club in downtown Denver. And they are actually 21 and up. I was only 19 years old. So I started interning for this really great company called Comedy Works Entertainment. And we started just doing events with Bill Maher and all sorts of really cool, funky outside of, the Comedy Works. If comedians were too big to perform at Comedy Works, they'd play with Comedy Works Entertainment. And I just was really passionate about it. And I gave it my all. And, when you're an intern, you work for free, but I was learning so much. And it was literally my third week on the job of just going for it and giving it my all that the opportunity came up for me to actually drive the comedians in my car and take them to radio in Denver. So I would show up in my little Honda Accord at their hotel and literally have to drag these celebrities out of bed and take them to press, And I took Greg Proops, Adele Givens, again, no clue what I was doing, just kind of going for it and new to radio, new to working with celebrities. And my third comedian that I took was actually Dave Chappelle. And he was this was back when the Chappelle show was just, I know. And it was crazy because, again, I'm so clueless and I'm new to this and I'm just going for it. It's so exciting and thrilling in every way. But again, I really have no idea what I'm doing. So I'm at his hotel to pick him up. And, radio, the timing is very key. You have to be there at certain times and you want to, but I'm new, again, just teaching myself as I go. So I show up at Dave's hotel and he just stumbles out of the elevator and he had been up at the skate park all night long in Denver. And, here I am, like, I have to drag you to radio now. You have to get in the car with all of your posse and come with me and, go to radio. So next thing you know, we're in the car. And he had been at the skate park all night long. He loves to skate, and he had twisted his foot really bad, and that's kind of why we were running late. And I'm, no comedian wants to get up that early and have, be taken out to the middle of nowhere, not really knowing where they're going. So I was kind of just like, look, let's get you ice. We got to get you there, get all your friends in the car. And, they're blasting Wu-Tang, and he takes his shoe off and puts it in the middle of my console. And we're kind of icing it, getting him to radio, and I'm just in traffic on I-25, and all of a sudden it hits me. I'm like, Dave Chappelle's foot is in my face. Such an amazing feeling of just going for my dreams. And, so I basically took him to all the interviews, and I was kind of helping him because he had really hurt his foot, and he started calling me his white woman cane. And so that became the, funny joke of that I was a good helper and that I was really good at what I did. So he wanted to introduce me on stage that night, but I wasn't old enough to get into the club. So I ended up getting a job offer from him, and in doing that, he talked to the owner of Comedy Works, who is just a really smart female business owner, and she worked with him to decide, look, she is brand new to the industry. She's got to get her feet wet in this business. Let's hire her as my assistant full time. She can learn PR. She can learn all that kind of stuff. And next thing you know, I was her assistant, and started taking the comics to radio full time, and then that led.
Whoa. Okay, you're getting ahead of the game here, and you're totally playing it off like you stumbled into all of this. There's some strategy that went on here. You obviously were making your impression. Dave Chappelle's here offering you a job. I mean, okay, you're skipping over some of these finer points here. How did you get this internship? How did you make these impressions?
With my mom. My mom was literally like, you think you want to work in entertainment? You think you're gonna, have these dreams? She goes, you need to look in Denver and see what is out there, and you need to call them and figure it out. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, you're right, Mom. And it's kind of the matter of looking at where you are and what is out there that you could maybe go intern for, or go check out some DJ events at, or kind of do your own research to figure out what you could be doing there, how you could be learning more. And it's just where you're at, and that was where I was at, and that was where I started.
Yeah. I mean, how many of us are sitting at home dreaming, like, I wish that could be me one day. And instead, you could be doing what Eva's doing and literally look at your hometown, look at the organizations that are out there, look at the establishments that are out there, especially if it comes to entertainment. What is the local entertainment that's offered there? How can you get your foot in the door? Hello, internships. They need interns, and they need someone that has that go-getter attitude. And when you show up and say, I'm here to do whatever it takes to help out.
And it's going to be uncomfortable, and it's going to be scary, and it's going to be that feeling of fear. I love that quote, feel the fear, do it anyway. And you are going to fail. But the best part is that you're doing it. And the only way you're ever going to get there is that you're going to fail, because failing is part of getting there. And I think too that you're right. So many people sit around dreaming about it. And that's such a fun part. That's my favorite part, is just dreaming and thinking, oh, wow, what's the biggest possible dream I could have? And then you go, okay, I picked this, and I want to put this here, and maybe a little Ferrari here with this. And then you put that out, let it go, and then that's where the fun part begins, because this is where now resources, ideas, brainstorming, connections, they will all start to come into play because you put that out there. And no matter where you are, there's always something you can be doing. Even if it's making a 2-hour commitment once a week to going to your local library, and that's your set time to do some research or to brainstorm ideas of where I'm at and where I want to go.
Yeah, taking that time. I think it's so important to set aside that time to ask yourself, what do I want to do? Yeah, what do I want? How often do we forget to ask ourselves that very core question? Okay, so you said failure, right? It's hard to imagine someone that is already crushing it in their dreams, someone that, rode this incredible career wave that Chelsea Handler had, working with her, alongside her through that whole journey, having those opportunities, and now killing it as a DJ already. It's hard to imagine that you've experienced any failure. Can you can you help bring it down?
I love it. I love that you asked me that. Thank you so much for asking, because I love this about myself. It is one of my favorite parts. I was going to DJ school now. I had found this amazing school, Scratch DJ Academy. This was founded by Jam Master Jay from RUN DMC to give integrity to the world of DJing and to have a standard and an expectation and an outlet for DJs to go and learn how to DJ. I literally had no idea. I just knew I loved hip hop. and I knew I wanted to learn more. So when I found out about the school, I'm like, you're kidding me. There's a place that I can go and they'll tell me, and then I get there and it's the top DJs in the world who are teaching me to DJ. Well, next thing you know, I literally have no idea how to use a turntable, what Serato is, how to beat match music, well, that was okay because I was going to learn it. And that was really the funnest part to me. And, so much of the class was set up in a way where you get on stage and perform to your class and you're new to this and you don't know what you're doing and you are dripping sweat and you are missing beat matches and you are, having this, what I like to call for myself, bombing experience in doing it. But I just think back to myself in those moments where I was dripping sweat and I'm looking at the class and they're all kind of like, oh God, this is a disaster. And I just found this inside of myself where I was like, this is amazing. I am doing my dream. I am failing, but guess what? I'm never going to stop and I will get there. And I love that I could embrace that feeling of failure, but knowing that I was getting there because I was failing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't, as the listener, when you go to the show, when you're at Red Rocks watching DJ EvAAA, you don't see the years of the fact that she actually went to a school, the years of bombing, the years of mixing that didn't make sense to get to where she is.
Yeah, and I look at you and, it was so fun to talk to you and see where you are. And I'm just like, my mind was blown and I'm looking at this business that you've developed and all that you've done for people out there. And I thought back to you at that time. And I was like, wow, she had no idea that it would be this far and this big and this, but she did it. And look at where she is now. And then it just kind of made me laugh. I was like, that's amazing. And it's so important to enjoy every stage because every part of the process is the process. And if you don't enjoy the process, you're not going to enjoy the dream when you get there, So I think I love that term game changer for the reason of when you're failing to take it and to feel it in a way of, wow, thank you. I'm so grateful for this failure. How am I stronger? What am I learning? How am I growing? How am I making this opportunity let me be better?
Yeah. And I feel like too, also starting out so young, for me at least, like I was so idealistic that I don't think I even realized it was failure as I was going. Cause I'm just like, I just kept going.
Passion. It is. And I think being scared is my favorite part. I used to get so nervous getting on stage in those classes and even just walking through the door at the school. I used to get all this anxiety. And this one day, I just remember I was feeling it so strong and I just took it in for a second and felt it. And then I was like, holy cow. I go, do you feel that, Eva? I was like, that's your dream. That's your gut. That's you going for it. That's you getting off of the couch and actually making your dreams come true. And I looked at it and I was like, that's the best feeling I've ever felt. I was like, I love this nerve. And then I learned to kind of embrace it in this really fun way of, wow, that feels good. That feels scary. That feels amazing. That feels like I'm going for my dream and I'm living my potential. And I love that I can embrace the fear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think what you described is, I describe this as, when you think about what is your passion, it's that feeling within you that, or it's almost like just getting in the zone, the feeling that, you could be doing this thing for hours on end and not even know the time is passing.
Yes.
How did you discover that? How did you know that it was being a DJ? I think a lot of people out there, if they have that dream to be a DJ, they probably heard a lot of skeptics, try to bring them down to.
Said that. I think that for me, I'm a dork. I have this really dorky, quirky personality. And I think for that reason too, sometimes I did feel a little bit left out, or sometimes I did feel like I didn't fit in at certain places. And I think in my personal growth and my personal self-love, I really learned that hip hop was a way. And when I say hip hop, I love positive, inspirational hip hop.
Okay.
That scratching, the beats, just all of the elements that go into hip hop was kind of my outlet for myself. that just always made me happy, you know? When I felt left out, or I felt nerdy, or I felt whatever it was just kind of my way of doing something special for me. And I took that specialness into my heart and really learned to just love all these elements about it. And that was when I was like, how do I learn more? I want to learn more. And that's when you go back to that zone of, you could just, time will stop, you can do it all day. Passion.
Well, so that was probably a big pivot to go from the entertainment world to saying, I'm ready to take on, I'm ready to produce my own thing, create my own brand.
And I think too, there's so many different, it's so fun the way that the book promoted the show, which added onto the social media that tied into the tour. And it was this beautiful flow of chemistry and passion just all coming together to cross promote each other. And it was so exciting. And music played such a big part of that. When we'd be on the book tour and we'd go out, when Chelsea would walk out on stage, there was always some really powerful song playing. And when we did her book signings, it was personal for her. She would have a really particular playlist that she would always send me that we'd always be tweaking, that would put out this energy for the fans and for the signings. And it was an amazing piece, a really fun piece as well, for the shows. So I think that all of those worlds come together so nicely. And I do also really think music and comedy go hand in hand. So it's been really fun too. A lot of what I do is battle sets and scratching and that sort of thing. And that is so fun to go pull your favorite movie clip, or just even a funny, inside joke that you have with friends, or something that you tell yourself in the morning that makes you, and to slice that into a drop.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'll be watching movies and I'm like, oh, I can use that, or I'll take that, or, even stuff that people know that are really famous from movies. It's fun to pull those little pieces. So I think for me, it was always kind of a beautiful thing coming together into one stream. So that the TV show did play a huge part in the music. And then I just slowly kind of took over as the DJ at the show, which is really fun, because when the celebrities would come out or when the show would start, I was up in the DJ booth with our other DJ, Tony Langto, and we'd be, dropping these 30-second high energy intros for these legendary celebrities, and creating that energy and dropping it, so then it really became, okay, now live performance shows. Obviously I've been doing with Chelsea now, live performance shows for DJing.
Yeah, I think what's so neat about that is you found your thing, you unlocked that from within yourself. You knew this is something that makes me really happy. And then you said, how can I integrate this into what I'm already doing? You didn't just say, okay, all right, I'm out, everyone. Like, I'm going to go do this other path. You're like, how can I start bringing my talents, my interests, my passion into what I'm currently doing and adding this extra value and, raising the level, like you said, for all of her book signings and for her show, and saying, I have these ideas, and bringing your ideas forth because you've made yourself invaluable already, that they trust you and they want you to be able to live your passion within what you're already doing.
Oh, and that is such an amazing part of Chelsea. She's always, and something that I will always take from her is to pay it forward. And she's always been so supportive of women. And I think that is such a huge part of all of the success with it. But I think too, for me, when you said that, it really brought up something in my mind too. When I was working at Chelsea full time, I found Scratch. This little thing where a light bulb went up in my head of, okay, wow, I put this dream out there. I didn't know how it was going to happen. They just called the show. I'm literally going for my first interview, but it was kind of this very special moment with myself of, wow, now I get to watch this dream unfold. And I decided to really keep it to myself for the first 2 years that I was doing this, because I don't like sitting around talking about doing something. I love the idea of telling people that you've already done it, or, don't tell people your dreams, show them. So it made it even more fun because it was something I was doing in my free time or at night. And it kept me really laser focused. And then you better believe it wasn't my favorite thing in the whole wide world to come out 2 years later and be like, I've been a DJ and you had no idea. And I'm not just saying I'm going to do this. I already did it. And I actually need you to promote it on the show. And that's what made it really special. And it was, believe me, it was difficult to keep it, as this really special thing. I always knew I'd come out and tell people, but I just didn't want to be out there talking. I wanted to be out there doing.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that was also wrapped in a little bit of fear of what people might think? And that's okay if not. It's an interesting approach.
I think there's absolutely an insecurity there because it was so bad that it's probably like I should not tell anybody yet.
But I think some people are like, I'm going to tell the world that I want this to do this thing. And because you haven't done it, sometimes you let the outside influence affect you.
And that's absolutely correct. It is. And I think that every person is different. So whatever, sometimes too, I'll be on the way of, I'm going to do this. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I'm going to tell everyone I'm going to do it. And then it helps me do it. And then other times I think there's certain things where it's like, how am I going to do this? I have no idea. I should probably, keep to myself for right now and then slowly do it. It was really funny when I was working at the show full time because I was kind of just putting this dream together on the side. Well, when you're living your dream, you are going to have to figure out ways to make things happen. And Scratch is a great school, but these are legendary DJs. So when I'm having one-on-one private lessons, those were expenses that were coming forward, and DJ equipment is easily $5,000 to buy. So at the time I had this apartment in Burbank, great pool, all this fun stuff. Well, an opportunity came up for me to move at the time to what I thought was Compton because it would drop my rent from $2,000 down to $371. Well, I didn't even think twice about it. I was like, I'm going into hip hop. This is my dream. So I finished out my lease there, literally packed up my car, put in this, this girl was moving in next door. I was like, this will help me downgrade. I'm going to give her all this stuff. She's a student. This felt amazing. And I ended up giving her, my bedroom sets, all of this. And it was a win-win for us because I didn't have to figure out how to get it all out there. And then she could, have this brand new setup. And I just felt really good about that feeling of giving. Well, next thing you know, I'm in my car, kind of terrified, like, I'm going for my dream and I might have to move to Compton and I don't know what's going to happen. And get there and it's the nicest apartment with the nicest roommate. And it just worked out so perfectly. So I run to my DJ school and I was like, you guys, I moved to Compton. And the one person who never believes you, he's like, no, you didn't. Show me on the map. And then we get out and I'm looking on the map and it goes right there. And he goes, that's not Compton. That's 3 blocks from Compton, Gardena. And I was like, even cooler. So that became my theme for myself is hashtag 3 blocks from Compton. And that's the name of my first album that I'm working on is 3 blocks from Compton. And it's just going back to that whole living your dream, feel the fear, do it anyway. You're not going to know how it's going to happen. And guess what? If you did know, it wouldn't be any fun. So 3 blocks from Compton was such an amazing part that I never saw coming and such a great experience for me and such that just fear of, going for this dream and it coming true.
Yeah. All right. Well, tell me about a day in your life, in your career as DJ EvAAA. What does that look like? You wake up and tell me what you do.
Good question. So I'm DJing right now with Orange Theory. They are this really cool fitness chain. Wow, it is so fun. The classes are a little bit uncomfortable because I have to put on my sneakers and go outside and work out. So it's every morning I will wake up and I will struggle with that feeling of, I really don't want to go to the gym or I really don't want to have this workout today. And I'll face the fear and I will literally get in my car and I'll go. And then I'll have this incredible workout and I'll just laugh at myself saying, boy, the hardest part was putting your shoes on to go. And that was, once you got over that, you had this great workout.
So you wanted to be a DJ, but you ended up now also having to do fitness work. You had to work out while you DJ.
Yes, I DJ for their classes. And part of my DJing is I go to their classes because it also puts it, number one, I just feel so much happier and better when you're taking care of your body and doing fitness. And it's really, really a fun workout. But number two, it also puts myself in the shoes of the person working out and how I can use music to elevate that workout for them.
Yeah, know thy audience. I like it.
It's really, really fun. So it's kind of Orange Theory, I try to always start as my morning, just to kick off that workout for the day. I have a rule that every day I wake up is the next best day of my life. So every morning when I wake up, I start out and I say, hello day. And then I remind myself that today is the next best day of my life, and it's my job to make it that. So how I'm going to do that. And then it becomes really fun. Your whole day becomes really fun because you go, well, how am I going to make this car light really fun, by singing or whatever I do. And I play a lot of games on my way to stuff, or I love to clean. So clean and have fun cleaning. But yeah, I think it's important to go back to that whole childhood mentality of playing and having fun at every little step and every little thing that you do.
I love this. Like, you're just like, I wish you lived here in San Diego. We'd be best friends. Cause seriously, I Marie Kondoed my apartment recently and it was like the best day ever. Like
fun, right? And it's so fun when you can make it that, it was funny. I once had a tax audit and I had to go for this tax audit and I literally was like, this is going to be hard. And I thought, well, how am I going to make this amazing? How am I going to make this really fun? So I got hot color coordinated binders in purple and yellow. And I walked into the audit like, hello. And the government was just looking at me like, okay, you're really fun. And it went really great. And it was all a really good learning experience. But I just love that a part of myself that I was like, how am I going to make a tax audit fun? And I was like, I will. And it was.
Your energy comes through this, through the mic for all these listeners out here. You can feel it. It's potent. How do you handle, people that aren't ready for that? People who aren't waking up every morning like, I'm going to live today like that it's the best day of my life. We should all be living that way, but so many of us aren't.
Well, I like to think I eat my Cheerios for breakfast. I keep this mentality of I'm just going to stay really positive. And it's so funny because someone will come into my day, maybe they're not ready for me, or maybe they're just whatever it is, and they're just not on that mentality. And I'll just, it's one of those things, nice to meet you, gotta go. And really it's just a matter of it's so fun because it will never get to me. And I love it because I've really mastered the art of that. And I think that it's so fun along the way that you will have these characters and these people that will come along and, they're whatever it is, or they want to just kind of try to pull you down or put a little ruin to your day. And I just kind of look and I'm like, that is so cute. I was like, whatever it is that you're going through, it's like, that is just, you're a little character. And I was like, that's so fun. It's like, you think of the 7 dwarfs, got sleepy and happy and grumpy, and you can choose to be any of those. And I'm always the happy dwarf. So when grumpy comes around, I'm like, I just kind of look at him and I'm like, you're grumpy today. Like, that's the grumpy dwarf, and just get back on to being happy. So it's never about judgment. It's just more of a kind of a appreciation of, oh wow, you're the crabby elf, or you're
you're an angry little elf.
And I'm like, oh, that's cute. Just it's cute. Like, you want to be the angry elf. That's great. And that's cute. Like,
I love that attitude. And, from what I've seen from Chelsea's show, and, I love her books, I said, I have her book here, and I know that you guys have this interesting, this fun dynamic, but to me, no matter who you're with, it makes sense that people want to be surrounded by that. Like I said, I wish you were over here during my Marie Kondo day. People, it's no wonder that Chappelle's like, I want to work with you. And Chelsea's like, I want to work with you, because that is an energy that is potent, and it is, it's electric and it's contagious.
Well, and I'm so glad you said that too, because I think so much of the time, I will get an email, and when you deal with me on email, I'm literally like a bubbly, and I'm sure Amanda, from dealing with me, it's like, I am too many exclamation points. I am like, yes, let's do it. It's great. That's amazing. And I think I learned that from, emailing with agents and managers and all of this throughout the years. And I would get emails that people would send, and I would feel it. And I'd go, how does this make me feel? How does this make me inspired to work on this project? And I took little parts and I'd go, that makes me feel really excited. That makes me feel really good. That's the kind of person I want to be around. That's the kind of person I want to work with. And in doing that, it's, people will forget what you say and people will forget what you do, but they'll never forget how you make them feel. So why wouldn't you want to be great to everyone you meet? And why wouldn't you want to be really fun to work with? And why wouldn't you want to have a lot of fun while you're working? So I think that it's great because you can be like that and you can do that. And, it's really too, everyone is different and everyone has their own style, and that's such a great thing. And that's what makes life and working with others and collaborations great, is how are we coming together to, work like this? So I just like to make people feel good. It makes me feel good. And I think that I like being good to work with and fun to work with.
Yeah. Well, you can feel it and it makes sense. And yeah, it's a choice. It's a choice to show up like that in the world. Yeah. That's beautiful.
Absolutely.
Well, so, tell me about keep going.
Oh, I think I get it from my mom too. People are so funny. They're like, you're always so positive and you're always in such a great mood.
Oh, you got to give a shout out to the mom.
I literally will give you an honest to God true story. Yesterday I was driving to downtown Denver and I got to where I'm going and I'm on I-25 and I had just washed my car the day before and I was like, getting my workout, doing my car wash, and I love washing my car. Well, my license plate came a little loose when I did it. And I didn't really think anything of it. So anyway, I'm driving the next morning to go downtown and I'm on this merge of I-25 and 6 and all of a sudden I look behind me and there's not one, but two, and on this side and this side, motorcycle police officers. And I was like, oh my God, they're pulling me over. And we're at this corridor that I was like, am I allowed to pull over here? And I'm like, so of course I would kind of feel kind of cool. Like they're like, yeah, you get to get on this side of the freeway and stop. So I stop and they both come up and I was like, hi. Like I was a little bit flustered. It threw me off, but I was like, hi. And they're like, hi, do you know why we pulled you over? And I was like, no.
That's the worst question. Like if I knew, I wouldn't be doing it.
But I was like, tell me. I'm like, this is exciting. Like, tell me. And they were like, oh, your registration sticker is expired. And I was like, oh, my registration is not. And I was like, sir, I was washing my car yesterday. I think I might have. And he was like, okay. And so I gave him my stuff. They went and checked it. But then I kind of felt cool. I was like, the motorcycle police story. So I go to where I'm going. I'm like, you guys, I just got pulled over. It was so exciting, And I do really appreciate our government and the things that police do to always keep us safe. So it was also an opportunity for me to say to their faces, hey, thanks for keeping us safe. I know how hard you work behind the scenes and thanks for all you do. And it just really, it was, I think a lot of people take an experience like that. I just was so excited and I couldn't wait to get to where I was going to be like, guess what just happened? And it was fun. It really was fun. And I was on hold with the DMV for 45 minutes this morning trying to figure out how to get that replacement sticker. But it's one of those things that when something goes wrong, if you can take it and it falls right in front of you and whatever it is, because it's always going to happen, and you go, thank you. I am so grateful for this. I'm so glad this is going wrong. How am I better? How am I smarter? How am I stronger? What am I going to do with this? And it becomes really, really fun because once you have that mentality, nothing will ever bother you or stop you because you walk around saying, thank you.
Yeah, you're invincible.
Yeah.
And you probably brightened the days for those officers. You probably brightened their day.
Oh, no, they brightened my day. I mean,
but that interaction could have gone so many different ways. And the way that you took it, was the way that made everyone's day.
And I really do appreciate, I like that you said that because I love to think that it went off into all their hard work that they're doing and that rotated into, keeping us safe even better. And just, it was nice to have that opportunity to say thank you.
Yeah. Well, so tell me about the passion object you brought, the object that represents what you're passionate about. I have a feeling it's behind you, but you may surprise me. I don't know.
I'm going to. You have to close your eyes though. And I will have to explain it because you and I did talk yesterday and you were asking me about all these big things I've done. I put it out to the universe that I want my first ever DJ show to be a 5,000 seat amphitheater. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I knew I was going to do it.
Can I look?
No, you can't look. You have to keep your eyes closed.
Okay.
I think about, DJing with the Denver Broncos cheerleaders. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I knew I was going to do it. And I really do have a secret that I'm going to teach everyone. I'm actually going to give them right now on how I was able to do that.
Yeah, I'm really ready. I'm excited.
You can open your eyes. It's for you. It's a magic wand.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I have it.
I know. And everyone else has it. Now see, wave it in the air. It feels fun, right? So this is the magic wand. And now you have it and you hold it in your hand and you say, okay, I'm going to dream as big as I possibly can with this magic wand. I'm going to play the game of I want as big as I could ever possibly do. What would that be? And you wave your magic wand and you pick. And it's that easy. And now you've already put it out to the universe and you don't know how it's going to happen. It'll come together. And as it does, you'll say, oh, that's how that's going to work. And it will just be this really fun roller coaster ride now, thanks to that magic wand, of your journey and learning to enjoy that journey of getting there. But the funnest part is you have a magic wand, so it can be as big or as small or as whatever you want. It's up to you.
Yeah. And it can't come true unless you wave that magic wand, unless you dream it.
And I just gave it to you. It's that simple.
And you gave it to all the listeners. Thank you. That's a gift.
Always have it anytime. And if you want to change it, you can change. It's a magic wand. You can do whatever you want. But it's just a fun moment where you'll take the time to pick for yourself, what do I want? What do I really want? What do I want to do with my life? Where do I want to be? How do I, where do I want to go up and show up every day for work? And what do I want to be doing with my life? And now you've got a magic wand. So it's so fun. It can be as big as you push your magic wand to make it.
What career advice do you have for college students today? What do you want them to do with that magic wand or anything else?
Enjoy every part of it. Enjoy every single part of it. And I think that, this is my favorite thing, and this is really, really fun advice. Cheer yourself on in your head. Your thoughts go a really long way, and I think it's so easy to beat yourself up or, when I showed up to play Red Rocks, literally walking up, I see like the president of VGG, I'm living this dream. Well, my DJ backpack just literally, the zipper busted and all my stuff fell out everywhere. And it's this moment where I could have said, oh my God, what am I going to do? Everything just dropped. This is horrifying. I'm so embarrassed. But then I looked at it, I said, oh, you're going to stop me from playing Red Rocks with this broken zipper? And I told that in my head. I cheered myself on. It was really a good feeling. It's nice when you give yourself positive thoughts and positive encouragement and, things like you go girl, or you got this, or you can do this, or look at you go. That feels nice to be told. And so you should be the first person telling that to yourself.
Yeah. We all need to hear it. We all want to hear it. And how often do we forget to tell ourselves that message? Yeah.
And it's okay. I catch myself doing that all the time. And then I'll hear myself say something and I go, well, why would I ever want to talk to myself like that? I don't. And I'll embrace it and I'll go, you're the grumpy dwarf today.
Wake up. Which dwarf are you going to be today? You're a dwarf that shouldn't hang out with any other dwarfs today.
You want to leave you at home today. You got to keep an eye on the cottage because I'm thinking of Happy and we're heading out.
Yeah. Well, there's so many messages here. What I want everyone listening today to do is take a note from Eva's chapter here. I want you to find the outlet that makes you happy. Like she found that with hip hop, with being a DJ. Even take the time to write a list. What makes you happy? It can be that simple. And how do you go towards that? And so that's where I want you to start taking action. I want you, just like Eva said, how can I apply what makes me happy into her current work, into her daily life, into her free time to go to school for DJing? How can you integrate your passion into what you're already doing? Because those are the steps that are achievable today.
Mm-hmm. And it's even as simple as, okay, you just found that, let's just say that cotton candy makes you really happy. So just now take 10 minutes every day on your way to work and set aside time to just think about cotton candy. Think about all the colors and think about all the flavors and think about what you love about cotton candy. And it's just really fun because that's just all in your mind, and that's daydreaming, and it's a fun thing. So if it's something that you think about and it makes you feel really good and it makes you feel really happy, well, good. Think about that.
Yeah. Right. I sketched my magazine. I wrote it down. I dreamed it I willed it into existence, but it didn't just stop at the journal. Like I took action on it. I brought in people to make this magazine, flyered around the campus. Students showed up to write for it, went to Kinko's, printed out what it would look like. So, guys, take that action. And it doesn't mean you have to make this big leap today. But if you're taking these small steps, these small actions, you're turning your thoughts into something that's going to materialize. You're turning your passion into something real.
And make sure you have fun while you're doing those little simple, teeny, tiny little things. Have fun at those. Aren't those fun?
Right.
Really good?
Not everyone feels like waiting at Kinko's. Waiting in line is fun, but it can be if you make it that way.
Thank you. That is so amazing. And once you're cutting that line at Kinko's for that magazine cover and something you accidentally cut, you're going to look at that and go, I'm so glad I just cut that. I'm so grateful that I'm going for my dream. I'm so glad that it's, things are going to go wrong, but I'm able to continue and to enjoy it.
Eva, I feel like everyone listening is probably like, gosh, like I wish Eva was my best friend. Like I wish I was standing in line with Eva. Because I feel like everyone should have a dose of that mentality, and that's what you bring to people. And that it makes sense that you are where you are today because of that outlook.
I really have an amazing life, and it really feels good to feel this good all the time.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. All right. Remember, everyone, when you speak your passion, doors open.